Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your host, Drew Davis, and want to welcome you to the Learn How to See Better podcast. And it's the holiday season. So, in the spirit of the holidays, I want to sing you all a song. Ready to hear it? Here it goes. On the first day of Christmas, your first gift ought to be understanding the gift of giving. That's all I got. Really, that's all I got. But I'm going to say it again, hoping that can be our discussion point for today. On the first day of Christmas, your first gift ought to be understanding the gift of giving. There's something out there called the law of reciprocity that you could look up if you wanted to learn a little bit more about essentially what I'm talking about. But here I'll just say it in a way that maybe rolls off the tongue a little bit better. The gift of giving. The gift of giving is something that most people take for granted, and they typically tie it to the wrong things, and it limits their ability to think positively and abundantly about giving. So they, in this lackful mental state, actually rob themselves of the gift of giving. Let me explain a little bit further. The law of reciprocity, again, you can kind of dig into this a little bit. I really just want to kind of sum it up by saying, you really have to kind of learn how to give, right? Even as a baby, I'm a father of children. You see kids, if they see the toy on the floor and it's theirs, okay, that's my toy. They see another kid's toy right there on the floor, they're playing with, nope, that's my toy too. Wait a minute, hey, those aren't both your toys. No. When you're young, you'd have that tendency to be selfish. I even see, my youngest son get very defensive if his mommy has another baby, on her lap, whether it's a sibling or a relative or a friend, right? So we're not always, wired to give necessarily when we are trying to get things from a very young age. We want to be able to get into things. My youngest is almost 2. Anything he can get his hands into, he wants to have it. He wants to grab it. He's learning how to get things. He's learning about the concept and idea of possession, right? And so we have to teach him to share and to give. And, it's kind of like teaching, it's kind of like some things come natural, some things don't. And so as you mature and go through life, we recognize that our own experiences around giving and receiving can sometimes be set up in such a way that they're built on the past, but not aligned for the future. So what do I mean by that? What if I said that the only thing that matters, or if society believed that the only thing that mattered was the size of the gift under the Christmas tree, or how much money was spent on someone, then it would be pretty unfortunate and easy to say okay, the only people that enjoy the gift of giving are those that have lots of money, and anyone that doesn't have lots of money can't afford gifts, so they miss out. Well, we know that that's not right. We know that that's not the case at all. But sometimes you might, as a child, say, oh, your friend down the street got more gifts for Christmas than you did. So, you might think in that limiting thought arena that your kids have more love in their life. Their parents love them more because they bought them more stuff. And so we might take simple things like that. If left unchecked, you might carry that flaw in thinking, that error in judgment, into adulthood and associate giving with only money, which is a big problem that I see, where people don't understand the good old phrase that's been around so long. It's the thought that counts, right? It's the thought that counts. It's what kind of energy goes into, what kind of love gets poured into that thing that's a gift. Because anybody can stroke a check and just buy somebody else something expensive and say, there you go. But if there's no genuine feeling, if there's no words attached, if there's no emotion, if there's no connection with this gift, then it's just a thing, a doodad, an object, soon to be forgotten and disposed of. So when I talk about the gift of giving, what I found in my experience is the things that I've been able to give to others, particularly that either the sweet spots when you have a combination, ideally you want the thing to be valued to the recipient. If you're giving something to someone, you wanted to get them something they like, right? A lot of kids did not like getting socks for Christmas. They wanted the cool new toy. But giving someone something that they appreciate is great. Giving someone something that you appreciate is great. But that sweet spot, if you can manage to give or provide someone something that you highly value, and the recipient highly values, it's almost like 1 + 1 = 3. You already value the thing. They now value the thing, but it's kind of like because they value this thing that you already valued, and there's this sweet spot where it's almost as though the combined value increases, and it essentially creates this feel-good effect that I've experienced time and time again when I personally have imparted knowledge in someone that has been a game changer for them, or a context expanding idea, or some key pieces of content that really help them. And I see that they have that aha, they have that, what I like to call that Maxwell House moment where you wake up and smell the coffee. That's so exciting for me. I get this special, burst of energy and reward that comes from that. I receive a gift from giving. And it's part of the reason why I feel like such a giver so often, because I know and understand that when you can sometimes there's intangible things that you can share with someone that are gifts, right? That special look that you give to your loved one at the dinner table on, Christmas Day as a family together, all celebrating and rejoicing, as an example. It's just a gift of essentially saying, I love you with your eyes. And there's other instances where a gift can be as simple as a special note to someone, or maybe a recorded a love song or a poem that really just expresses how you feel. Those types of gifts of giving don't have to be, tagged with a sales price on them, scratched out in magic marker. And so what I'm simply sharing is that the gift of giving for me is really that I find the joy now that I've learned how to give. I've practiced giving, right? I practice giving, and I don't even focus on the receiving part so much, because for me, I'm always giving more than I'm receiving. And psychologically, that sounds a little bit goofy, but it's almost as though that's where the reward lies. If you can outgive what you receive, you win. You win because you tap into that secret power of the universe that just provides some sort of internal satisfaction, just though knowing you're doing good in the world. And it's a way to express your love and caring for individuals that matter to you. So that was a piece I thought I'd share about my gift to you. The gift of giving I've received from a shift in mindset, mind state, and context. What gift will you receive? How will you practice the gift of giving? You might experience your gift in a different way, but look at different ways that you can give more. Sometimes you may be challenged with how you can give, or the way that the gifts are presented, right? It's still the thought that counts. What can you do to be creative about that in the midst of whatever obstacles you may be currently perceiving that, quote unquote, impede my ability to give? Let's challenge that and see what we can do to break through. A little more love, a little more giving, all equates to a little bit better living. Until next time, I want to thank you all for joining me today on Learn How to See Better. It's the only podcast out there that'll improve your vision the longer you listen. This is your host, Drew Davis. See you on the next episode. Thanks.